Hey everybody,
Hello.
Welcome back to the show. We have a very special episode that we're bringing for you today. This is going to be sort of a combination episode. We haven't done this ever, I don't think.
No, we usually split it up, but I'm excited for it, bro.
Well, this is the thing. This is our 100th episode.
Wow.
How do we get here?
Dude.
This is our two-year anniversary. We did an anniversary special, you, me, and Art. We talked about a lot of things, and then that was kind of one thing. This is going to be a little bit of kind of talking about the year, and then we're going to finish it off with a quick discussion of Stephen King's Pet Sematary.
Stephen King Book Club, remember? Pet Sematary.
So I'm excited for that. I'm a little bummed you didn't bring the book that I loaned you.
I know.
It's okay.
Getting out of the house.
I did wear a Pet Sematary shirt. I don't know if you can see that on the screen. But it was weird. As far as we'll get to the anniversary thing in just a second, but it just so happened we were like, hey, let's choose something that's easy. Stephen King is easy to read.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's entertaining. It's approachable. And it weirdly hit home when I was reading it.
That's strange.
We'll discuss that. There was some stuff about it where I was like, whoa, this is like hitting on too many things that are like close to what's happening right now. And yeah, so it was, I read it at the right time. And I'd read it before. It might have been the first Stephen King book that I'd read. But reading it recently, like as an adult, I was like, okay, it hit different. Let's go ahead and talk about the anniversary section. I think we'll kind of go over some things that happened over the year. It's been 2025 was a challenging year.
Yeah, I think it was tough to get together a little bit sometimes, but
not even for the show, just in our personal
general
lives. A lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of change going on, but I think that doing Chorizo Bros is definitely a fun outlet for all of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, and it also brought to light a lot of, entertainment that I didn't know was out there. And just mediums that I'm learning that I'm, kind of getting more into. So like reading is something that is almost an ingrained part of my life now.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy.
You didn't see that coming, right?
No, I did not see that coming.
I think Art said the same thing.
Yeah, it's definitely... And doing Chorizo Bros definitely forces us to kind of get into like a certain book or a movie and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it used to feel like forced because I'm like, oh, we got to get ready for the show. Now it's like, oh man, okay, I want to get on the next topic. Like let's get it going. And yeah, some stuff's like you said, 2025 has been kind of rough, but it was always that like outlet to go and escape into a story. Mm-hmm. And then for us to be able to talk about it and expand on it. It's just the best, dude. We've done some pretty cool stuff. We've
talked about some fucking bangers. Let me do a quick list of the stuff that we talked about in our second year of doing the show. There's going to be a couple on here that were from January. We're considering February the time we started because our first video of Lonesome Dove came up at that time. So I'm going to just run through a quick list of the stuff that you and I have talked about. 2025 before February because I don't think I'm kind of counting it for the 2025 year.
Sure.
Jodorowsky's Dune.
Oh man, yeah, that was fun.
Shawshank Redemption.
Favorite movie.
Yeah, so that we talked about those in January, and then so February to now, so the year.
Right. I got you.
Clockwork Orange.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dolores Claiborne.
Gosh, man, wow.
Dead Man's Walk. The Matrix. The Mist. God, that was a fun one.
We did do The Mist.
We did, yeah.
Wow.
There Will Be Blood.
Gosh, man.
You did a hell of a skit on that. You fucking pulled out your Daniel Day-Lewis on that one, dude.
That was fun.
I
drink your milkshake.
Just waddling around the room. Oh, man. So funny.
We need to do those skits a little bit more, man.
We got to get the skits back.
Yeah, we got to get the skits back.
We got to get Art back to do skits.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's the best.
9 to 5.
That was actually really fun to do.
That was probably... My aunt watched
Honestly?
that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like, you guys are so funny. I was like... Kareen, you're the best.
Yeah,
she shouted us out.
Thank you for watching.
She was like, "You guys are so funny."
Yeah, we should definitely do something similar to 9 to 5 as far as like a comedy little.
Oh yeah, dude, I want to keep let's just keep doing weird stuff. Yeah. Oh, we're not done. We got some bangers on here.
Wow, okay.
Heat.
Okay.
We brought Chris in for that.
That was
I know
fun.
You didn't love that one, but the episode was fun to do.
That was cool because I feel like you and I bantered a little bit on that. Mm-hmm. And that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Troll 2.
Oh. Oh man,
we got to do another famously bad movie. We have to.
Yes, we do.
We have to.
Because that was a lot of fun.
Dude, the Troll 2 one we had a lot of fun on. And we were eating them cupcakes and
yeah. What was the line? He's like, I'm tightening my belt so I no longer feel hunger pains.
And you're oh my god. So awesome. The Usual Suspects. We found some bad things about Mr. Spacey on that one. We talked about that.
Yeah.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Oh yeah, that was kind of recent. Kind of getting toward the end of the year.
Yeah. Last Ronin.
Oh man,
Michelangelo. Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Halloween 3. Y'all grilled me so bad on that one.
Oh man, dude.
I was like,
dude, okay.
I love it.
I reached out to people at work about it, and they were split. There were people that were feeling like you, like, dude, are you kidding me? Halloween 3 is the best.
Yeah.
And I was like shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, maybe Joseph's onto something.
It's a specific kind of person that likes Halloween 3.
Sure.
A cool person.
Oh god.
13 Assassins.
Oh dude, favorite action movie.
So great.
It's got to be one up there.
And I think that's where all the ones ended with you and I that worked on them. But that's not including all the ones that me and like Arian and Brandon did.
Yeah.
We did some book stuff. We read James by Percival Everett. It's like the Huckleberry Finn story from Jim's perspective. That one was fun to do. It gets very Django-y at the end. So that was cool. So yeah, we've talked about some fun stuff. I think I want to keep going with this trend of like, even if these projects are all different.
Yeah, I mean, you've got stuff all over the place. I mean, 9 to 5, Shawshank Redemption,
Last Ronin.
Last Ronin. Like, there's no real kind of formula for it as far as what we're picking, and I think that's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
I think that sometimes people may want to do something that's like in the now or in the popular or, you know, what's popping, and it's just like we're just doing whatever we feel is fun and we can have a good conversation about it. I think that's the way to approach it.
Well, I realized, and this is a concern I had on our last year, that we just can't keep up with it. It's hard for us to get together, and by the time we can get together, it's like how many weeks passed.
Yeah,
it's not like trying to, if it came out now, we're like, oh my god, we got to get together like now. The movie just came out.
Right.
If we're gonna keep on like it being a hot topic, it won't work. We haven't seen Art in like 7 months, so it's not something. And it's funny because he's so confidently is like, oh yeah, I think we could do it. We could do it. I was like, dude, it's already hard to get together. We can't.
We do make it work though. I think it's pretty.
The
cool.
ones we are able to do, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's definitely not like a fading, you know, idea in our head. I think it's whenever we talk about it, we usually stick to it and get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've abandoned really any projects. I think, you know, for those of you guys that have been keeping up with the show, I know Alex. Shout out to Alex. She's actually going to come in and do Gone Girl with me whenever we're done reading it.
Oh, nice.
And Chris read Flowers for Algernon.
Oh, he was telling me about that. He's excited for that.
Oh man, amazing book. So our Art's going to be back on the show. It's like we said, a challenging year, and it was already, you know, with his business, it was hard to get together last year or the year before that already, and then we saw that trend sort of keep going. So that just means that the episodes where we can get him back on, we got to make bangers.
Oh,
we got to talk about some
even
cool
just
shit.
the three of us being there is going to be a banger in itself, because
absolutely
there's definitely like a dynamic between the three of us that, because I mean we've also been buddies for so long, and whenever we're not on camera, it's pretty much like
the dynamic is the same.
Yeah, it's the exact same. Like,
yeah,
there's no lapse in energy or interest in what we have to say.
Right.
So it's really easy for us to, when we get on camera, for the three of us to just exude that, you know. So.
Yeah, the next one we're supposed to be continuing our Larry McMurtry.
Well, because what else?
Lonesome Dove. We're looking for Comanche Moon next. So that's like the next book project we're going to be doing, and I don't know if you finished it or not.
I'm close, actually.
Yeah,
but I'm not,
because we've been jumping around. Yeah,
we have been kind of going around.
Well, because we're trying to get Art back, so you know I do that too. Is like, okay, I can knock this out really fast, and then I'll just like start forgetting stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, so I've been jumping around on some stuff.
Yeah, I need to start putting some notes. So we can kind of come back to it relatively easy.
I took some notes for this also.
Yeah, I think this was
for the Pet Sematary one.
Yeah.
Some changes we're going to be making to the show also. Not changes in a bad way, because change is good. Like I said, there's not really a set thing that we're doing here. It's more so, what am I interested in talking about right now? What do I think we're going to have a good time talking about? So me, Brandon, and Arian are going to be talking about a controversial true crime case, the West Memphis 3. That's our next one that we're going to be doing with me with them. Is a true crime case. And this is not a true crime channel. We talked a little bit about that gal who stabbed someone during the Slender Man. Remember the Slender Man gal? She like tried to kill somebody for some video game character. Anyway, whatever. We kind of, you weren't there for that, but we talked a little bit about that. And this is a case that like hit home for me. It hit home for a lot of people. We were all like, whoa, like this is a crazy case. So tune in for that. You're welcome to join us.
True crime is definitely something that's I do enjoy, but yeah. No, I mean you guys go for it. I think 3 is a good. I think when we get to like 4, sometimes it gets a little difficult. But
yeah, I think we've only done it like once.
Yeah, it can be a little challenging, but I mean I'm down for it.
Yeah, so that's like the next thing, and I think we want to continue with that trend a little bit, just because there's been cool
because it's something different that we haven't done before. I think like for the new year, maybe we should try to do that a little bit more. I like the idea of Chorizo Bros doing something about not necessarily the book or a movie, but like current event type of stuff,
or just real.
Yeah,
just real because that really happened.
That stuff really did happen. Yeah, and we dabble a little bit into it when we get like a book or movie that's like based on a true story, but not necessarily something like this where it's just like a real life event that we're kind of discussing.
Yeah, and it's a big one. It's a doozy, and people land on either side. Where I personally think they didn't do it. The guys that they caught, I don't think they did it. But it depends on who you ask.
That's gonna be fun because I want to see the 3 of y'all and where y'all land.
I kind of think we all are gonna agree.
Oh,
I think Arian for sure, being a metalhead, is gonna be like, nah, they fucking just got him because they're into metal music and wear black and shit like that. Hey, do you know anything about the case?
No, I thought y'all were talking about the.
I think you'll find it real interesting.
Yeah. It was the West Memphis.
The 3? West Memphis 3. Yeah.
West Memphis 3. Okay.
These not to derail it too much, but there's these 3 like 8-year-old boys that they find their bodies in like the woods in this community, this little town, bumfuck nowhere in West Memphis, Arkansas. And a mentally challenged teenager is like comes forward and is like, I think I know what happened. I think I know who was involved. And they use his testimony to arrest these 2 other guys. And they're just like metal kids. They like listen to Metallica and they're like skaters and listen to rock music and are into witchcraft and books and Aleister Crowley and shit like that. And they arrest him and there's no physical evidence
that supports that they did.
In my opinion. There's a lot of circumstantial stuff, but there's no physical evidence of their DNA or anything being at the scene. And some sloppy police work, in my opinion.
When is it not sloppy, right?
I mean, yeah. So one of them, because he was 18 at the time, was put on death row.
Oh wow!
And then the other 2 were like 16. And so it's like, how do you use a mentally challenged kid's testimony?
Yeah, there's definitely, how reliable is that source of information?
So yeah, apparently they interrogated for a long time before they flipped the recording device on. And so they're under the impression that they coerced him into saying more. Originally,
I think that happens pretty often.
Originally, they said, the kid said, yeah, it was like noon. You're like, you sure it wasn't in the evening? Like that. Because the little kids, the bodies that were found would have been in school at the time. So everything kind of felt coerced.
Gotcha.
From the recording I heard, it sounded like they were coercing him.
Man.
So yeah, it's
that's gonna be a good conversation. I kind of hope that maybe Brandon or Arian like kind of disagree, because I think that'd be fun to see.
I think most people, it would be. You're right. Yeah, it would be more interesting to have the kind of back and forth.
You just explaining it though kind of makes me feel like so far. But then again, you're trying to not persuade me, but you're definitely.
I'm just telling you my opinion.
Yeah. Right. So I'm kind of being coerced to.
But if you were to look at all the facts and stuff, there's some stuff about the main guy that got put on death row where you go, I understand why the police talked to him. So it does go back and forth.
There's still some little nuances there that you're like, okay, maybe.
So that's the next one that we want to do big time. An interesting case, a big case. That's going to be fun. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Yeah. Maybe let's not say fun.
I think another cool thing maybe we can try to do next year this year is something kind of like Jaworski, or what is it? Jodorowsky's Dune. Something that's like kind of film based. Because I did like the fact that we were having a conversation about kind of like the behind the scenes or like the creativity of of a film, and I think that is something that we all three can identify with, and I think it was a pretty fun conversation, and we should definitely try to do that. I don't know what that would be, but there's lots of things we could even do. Like even with Trolls 2, there was a little bit more discussion about like, well, why this film was made or who.
Oh, we did. That would have been the one where it was two kind of thing, because we did a double feature on that one. We did Troll 2 plus the best worst movie. Because we watched Troll 2 and we watched the documentary about it. I forgot about that. Yeah. So that you're exactly right. We should do something like that where it's something
we should definitely plan for it, because it was
behind the scenes or just an exploration of you mean specifically with like filmmaking or?
Well, I don't even think it necessarily has to be about filmmaking. I think that it's fun to talk about how artists get together and like collaborate and to create something, and whether it's something good like possibly Dune, or maybe even something that's not so great like Trolls 2. So I think it was really fun to kind of explore those ideas and to see what makes these people tick. And it also makes it feel like we're part of the process too, and how we would do things. I really enjoy talking about that, and I think
I think we should fucking do this short film that we're talking about.
We do need to, man. I would really.
Again, it's just one of those things where we just got to get together and make it happen. So, and I can edit some of this out. Do you want to talk about what's going on with you when you're taking off?
Yeah, fuck it. We can talk about it. So, another interesting thing about me specifically going into this new year is, and kind of sad, you may not see me as much, but I bet you we can kind of come up with something. But basically, for those of you who don't know me, me, my wife, and my two kids, we have been, and this has been a plan for a couple years now, where we basically are going to be traveling the country in an RV, homeschooling our kids, working, and just trying a different lifestyle. So I won't be in the San Antonio, Texas area for, I'd say maybe about like 7 to 8, 9 months out of the year. But this is definitely, San Antonio is our home. So like we're definitely planning on coming back. So I'm a little sad that I might not be on the show as much. But I think we could probably be creative, and like if we wanted to get us on the show, maybe do like a virtual,
like a Skype or something.
Yeah, that might be difficult and challenging, but it's worth a shot. Try something new.
Yeah, it would be fun to learn how to do something new.
Yeah.
Put your face in the middle right here.
Or even just like, let's say you were gonna do a little, like something that I really enjoyed. Then you just send me, hey, we're gonna do this. Can you just send a little clip, 30-second clip,
and then just me pop it in.
Then I'll just pop in like, hey, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in here. Here's my questions that I had for Joseph and Brandon.
Okay.
What did you guys like about XYZ?
Yeah.
Fuck you, hate you, love you. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. So we can
that would be sick too. That would be fun. Yeah.
So all in all, I'm a little sad, but I'm excited for my journey and trying to just to live a little differently and focus in on my kids a little bit more, and but I'm still going to be reading. I'm still going to be doing all
this is going to be a new habit. I
Definitely,
think I think this is something that I hope Art's been kind of keeping up with. I know I got Chris's reading, so I'm like, this is, I don't know. I've got actually some of my coworkers got them to get library cards. Well, because Arian got me into that, because he was like, they get more funding if you can show that there's a lot of accounts, then they get more funding. And
that means more opportunity, more like resources.
Dude, you can rent vinyl. There's a streaming service. You can the app. You can put stuff on hold, so you can be like, hey, and you can send it to the library closest to you. So they got a van that goes around it. Yeah. So I was talking to some people at work, and they're getting library cards, because I don't know what this is, but I'm like, I'm jacked about. I want to read. I want to get people into reading. I want people to, like, it's one of my favorite things to talk about. One of the point of the show is, I always felt a little bit left out talking, because I'm not into sports at all. So like, I always want to like engage with people and have a fun conversation about what's going on in a game or a team or whatever, or a specific player. Mm-hmm. But because I'm not interested in it, I feel like, damn, these people are having so much fun, like arguing about what happened or a call that was made or whatever, and I just don't know how to contribute to that. Mm-hmm. So having this and being like, I can talk to, somebody about a director, or I can talk to them about an author or about a specific book, and being able to do that like really scratches that itch for me. It's a little bit selfish. It's a little bit like, I want to have a conversation about shit I like, but
it's literally the exact same feeling because I'm into sports heavily. Mm-hmm. What we do is it has the same exact feelings. When we're talking about like characters that we really enjoy, it's the same thing with sports. We're talking about the favorite players, or like, so it's definitely right there. So I get what you're saying 100%.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what it was. So, and I think it's good for people. I think it's good for your mental health. I think it's good for exercising your brain, using muscles you don't usually use. Yeah. Like having to imagine and hear and expand your vocabulary and all these things. And I think it's good for like people that are trying to be on their screens less and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's influencing a little bit in people in my personal life.
I wouldn't say a little bit. I think it's influencing a lot. I mean, I go to the library way much more now. I'm much more interested in how I can implement what we do here toward my kids, right? So like, I'm definitely, my kids are getting to that point in age where I can start reading to them, not picture books, right? I can read it from a book, and then they are actively trying to,
follow what's happening.
Yeah. And so that's definitely something that most people should do, because it's really easy to just point a tablet in front of the kids and say, hey, you just do you. But, it's just really fun. Like even my wife and I, we're literally reading to each other in bed. Sounds a little...
No. I love that.
Yeah, it's fun. It brings us together. We're connecting. We're enjoying a story. And we're doing everything you just said in this, in this.
And it's separate from just streaming something or whatever.
It's
more active listening. You are participating in the story a little bit. And it's funny that you mentioned your kids, because I was going to tell you I had this weird motivation. I don't know what to call it. I was just going through some of the books, and I was like, what do I want? And then something, I don't know why this, you know what it was? It was Fleo. It was looking at the fluffy orange cat. Mm-hmm. And I looked at him, and then I looked at my bookshelf, and I've got a big hardback collection of the Chronicles of Narnia. And it's like all of them collected in one volume. So it's like a big, and I was like, man, I bought the book because it's pretty. It's a pretty volume. And I just like that I have it. But I haven't read them since I was like a kid. And so I picked it up, and I knocked out the first book in like that evening. I was like, oh man, it made me feel like I was a kid again. Oh, and I was like, dude, I was going to tell you, that should be one of the things that you read to the kids.
Yeah.
Is the Narnia books.
Yes. I'm like itching to do that, because I think my daughter, she's 5, and I bet I think she's ready now. I can do it right now.
Probably, yeah.
There's of course probably things she's gonna miss, but I don't think that's the point. I think it's just getting her started.
Yeah, she's gonna be like, "What?"
She's like, "What
a land that's always winter but never Christmas."
yeah. And it's gonna create a lot of curiosity, because that's what kids are doing right now. Is that, like, I think when we grow into adulthood, we kind of lose that sense of curiosity, and I think books and movies and television sometimes brings us back into that level of curiosity. So, now's a good chance for me to do that for my kids. And that's interesting that you had that sense of curiosity, and it brought you back to that kid again. Like,
I remember like talking to my teacher about it. I remember I was like, what's Turkish delight? Like, just not being, there's a fucking dude. Shout out to Reepicheep. He's this little mouse knight. There's a character called Reepicheep, and he's this little like he'll like fight anybody. He's a little mouse, but he's a knight.
Oh, dude,
I was fucking eating it up, bro. I was like, dude,
that guy's badass, man.
I love Reepicheep. But yeah, I was like, man, I haven't felt I haven't felt that way about a book in a long time. So it was kind of cool to like see that, to have that wonderment and to imagine, because you imagine what these characters look like. You imagine, you know, you can the world is as big or as small as you want.
Right.
The characters are as tall or as short as you imagine. Sometimes I'll ignore her. Unless it's like a specific, it's gonna play into it later.
Right.
Sometimes I'm just imagine it. It looks like Robert Duvall.
Yeah, when you think of cowboy, just like Robert Duvall.
It's just Robert Duvall.
Yeah.
So like, you know, or reading like the Game of Thrones books. You know, if you watch the show first, you can't help but not see. But I read them first.
Right.
So it was weird to see like that change where you go, oh look, they're like a lot older. And anyway,
it's one thing that I like to do is whenever a book is, you know, adapted into a film, I actually like to look at like fan made art based on the books.
Yeah.
Because especially, and it's fun to do that with Game of Thrones because although I haven't read Game of Thrones, I can kind of see the level of description that some of these like, you know, artists put into their work. So like when they're drawing the throne with all these like blades in the movie, it's only like a couple hundred swords.
Yeah, they can't like build that.
Right. But I think in the book it probably describes it as literally 1,000 some odd swords.
Oh, and it's
when,
fantasy. You're supposed to imagine it like, whoa.
Right. And so when you see,
and then Joffrey cuts himself on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There's supposed to be whatever. There's supposed to be a like thing where you can tell a bad ruler because they can't sit on the throne because it's made out of swords. That if it cuts you, it's a bad omen for how bad of a ruler, and he gets cut.
Oh,
yeah,
I like that. See,
that's
that's something that misses. So when you see like fan made art about the throne, it's this massive, huge.
There's all these steps up to it and shit.
Yes, and I'm like, dude, now that's cool. Now
you can imagine how big the dragons are and stuff. And
oh yeah.
There's a part where they walk down the hall, and there's like all the dragons' skulls, and then you see when the magic starts leaving the world. That's like kind of the whole point is like magic came back. The dragon being born at the end of the first season is like magic is coming back. So you see like they come stunted, and the smallest skull they have is like the skull of a cat.
Right.
So that's like the biggest you could get, and then it died. So you're like, fuck. Like there's whole. I mean, we can go on. We can do. We can talk about Game of Thrones for weeks.
Oh yeah,
bro.
dude, big time. But it's cool though. Like I think that the imagination, going back to like the whole books and stuff, it is kind of sad though. I think though when it comes to film, because I think filmmakers have to adapt their art to cater to the masses. Sometimes that's a little like sad. So like an example would be Star Wars in the first episode. Darth Maul, the main bad guy. I think the director asked this artist, like, hey, I want you to draw this character, you know, super menacing and yada, 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 right? So he drew what in his imagination, and I'm sure he was an avid, you know, reader of all kinds of stuff, right? He drew this really intricate, you know, really menacing character, and the director has it like, hey, we got to dial that back. That's just way too scary. But I'm like, man, dude, like imagine, you know,
being able
having somebody, you know, to do that. So that's one thing where, like you're saying, that, you know, the creativity, the you know, wanting to let your mind wander is critical for just a curious person in general. So yeah, and it's fun to talk about it. So
yeah, I think it's time we start talking about the second half.
Man.
Unless you got anything else to say about the show, or
I can't believe we're 100 episodes in 2 years.
We've been maintaining it, man.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, I should say also thank you. This is sort of my brainchild. This is sort of my baby. It's my project. Again, it started out of a, you know, straight up, if I can be real with you guys, like I said, it was like feeling kind of left out, feeling like the stuff I was interested in was kind of not always, but in terms of my life, not like with you guys, but like, it's just not that interesting to people. Like, so unless you find those people, you got to find your guys, your team, your squad, your bros, your chorizo bros.
Right here, bro.
So thank you for like going on the ride and like and taking it seriously.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know, like you read through a book I couldn't finish, Clockwork Orange. You finished it, and I like I had to stop because I couldn't get. I've read it before, but like when we did our reread, I was like, man, this language is just too much, and I tapped out.
Yeah,
and you didn't. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
When you're going through the list, I was like, oh wow, I read that one. I read that one too.
You read all. Yeah, you read.
And I'm like,
you read all these.
I read a lot of these.
Yeah.
And that's rare. Prior to Chorizo Bros, like I've read maybe a handful of books, and now it's like, boom.
You're reading more than you thought.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'm trying to like double. I'm like trying to go, all right, I got to fucking read even more.
Yeah, you're crazy.
So, well, that's where we're at. I think it's time to talk about Pet Sematary, dude. Let's do it.
All right, man.
So, do you want to do, because, you know, when Jeremy first got here, we were talking about that I might be surprised by the assessment you have.
Maybe not. I don't know.
So why don't you tell us?
I kind of like jump around with this.
I almost want to just like, let's just get to the discussion. Let's just jump into it without a rating, and then we'll feel each other out on how good we thought.
All right. I mean, you know, this Pet Sematary for me was interesting because it should have hit me pretty close to home, and in the beginning of the story, it definitely does. I think Stephen King does a good job of setting the setting up very well, understanding. You know, it's a husband and wife. They've got these 2 kids, and for me, it was like really, really close to home.
I was like, Jeremy, is that you?
Dude, big time, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's like a middle-aged guy with his wife, and he's got a 5-year-old daughter. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and he's got a 2-year-old son, which my son is about to be 2 next month. So in the beginning of the story, I was like, oh man, this is going to be scary. This is going to be frightening. But as the story goes on in the book, I'm not gonna lie. I think I lost some interest, believe it or not.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with my prior knowledge to the story through the movies. So I think I already knew
which are goofy, by the way.
Yeah, the movies are not great.
Most of Stephen King's stuff doesn't translate well, I don't think.
No.
Most of it doesn't. We've talked about all his bangers.
Some of them do. Like, I think the Misery movie does
the
well.
ones we did all kind of are okay movies.
Right, but I don't want us to focus on the movies here, because this one's like...
Right. I don't really want to
movies
focus
are
on
not
it. But if you watch the movie first and it influenced your view of the book...
Yeah, it kind of sucks, because I wish I didn't.
Because the movie's bad.
Yeah. But had I not known the ending of the story, I think I would have been a lot more tuned in. Because there was a point where I just was like, man, dude, like, get to it already. You know? I just felt like there's a lot of stuff that I was kind of interested in, but it just kind of harped on it a little bit too much. Like the whole Victor Pascal stuff. Like, I just kind of was like, okay, all right, sure. I get it. And there's a lot of alluding to like the town being this like, and I noticed a lot with Stephen King stories, he does this where the mystical, like, you know, supernatural is based on the location. So I noticed that big time, and after a while it just kind of drained on me. It's like, okay, I get that, like, let's just go. I think it could have been like a really cool short story. So
yeah, this might have worked better if it was trimmed down.
Right. So, you know, I still like the story, and there were some parts in it, like toward the end, that I was like, at the very end, I was like, oh my God, like, yes, like this is what I wanted, but I wanted it like maybe
sprinkled throughout.
Right. I think there could have been more opportunities of like the cat, and like, you know, I was expecting that.
You know what? We are going to lean on different arenas on this.
Yeah. So I wanted the cat to be a little bit more menacing, like throughout. Like once he was alive again, I wanted the cat to like maybe not immediately be crazy.
But that's what they did in the movie. They made the cat look menacing and hissing and kind of weird. They like lit the eyes up to make it look scary.
I mean, I don't remember the 80s one, but from the newer one that they did, it wasn't like
2019.
Yeah, the 2019 one, that wasn't like super. They didn't really. It was kind of like the book. They didn't really. I think it scratched the girl once. So to me, I think that's more interesting. I want to see that, because like, look at your shirt. That's really kind of freaky and scary. And I mean, dude, a black cat, you know, hissing at you. Church. Like, there's, you know, that's interesting stuff. So like in the book, I think there's so much cool, fun stuff you could do with that.
Well, I think this is maybe Oh man, this might be Stephen King's best book that I read.
Wow. Okay.
Because, and I'm only shocked because I remember when I started reading it, I texted you. I was like, I think this is gonna like take you in weird places. I think this is gonna hit you in a specific way because I was seeing parallels. I was seeing like, okay, you talk to your neighbors. You're pretty friendly with your neighbors. You've got the 2 kids. You've got the wife. And I was like, I can only imagine how scary, because that's the fear, because there's specific themes that this hits on, and it's either gonna work for you or it isn't, or you're gonna think he did it kind of clumsily. I think it really worked. So let's go ahead and get to that.
Can I say something before I forget my thought?
Yeah.
So I think that it probably would have hit me a little bit closer to home if I would have developed a little bit more of a relationship between the husband and his kids and his wife. I think that there were a lot of connections, but they're a little bit just like tangible connections, like the similarity of it being the similar household, or him being friendly. That I think for me to really connect with a certain type of story, I need to feel that, hey, his need to keep his child alive was deeply rooted in the interactions that they had prior to that point. So that's just.
So you feel like you would have thought the book was too long then, or maybe they trimmed down some stuff and then added more relationship with him, the father and daughter.
Right. I think that's one problem.
That probably would have worked. And I go back and forth with the supernatural element. You'll notice that I have a book behind you called Gothic Horror Stories. It's a collection of.
This one here?
Yep, it's a collection of Algernon Blackwood's short stories, and like the second story in there is about the Wendigo, and that plays a major part in this. And I think that's, like you said, it's either going to work for you, or it isn't. But the idea that this town like has this supernatural influence over it, it adds to how scary this is. It isn't, because it's about what did I write down here? So he's really, I think that this stuff actually really works, is the relationship with the neighbors. He even flip-flops, because he's like mentions that he's a doctor and then immediately is like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that, because now they're going to ask me to check on his wife all the time. That right. Felt very realistic.
Yeah, definitely.
That felt very, it's like, oh, they're going to need my goddamn help now, and I'm just trying to be a good neighbor, say hi, whatever.
And he ends up helping them, yeah.
Judd, like, they immediately shows like the kind of caring person he is. He takes the stinger out, and he uses his old man hands, and I'm like, yeah, I can see that. Like, all this stuff, I'm like, that's my grandpa, you know what I mean?
Sometimes that is better.
So the friendship with the neighbors, there's some, again, it feels realistic, the tension between the in-laws.
Oh yeah,
that is pretty explosive at a certain point.
Yes.
But this thing that sort of he stays home while his wife and the kids go to be with the in-laws, and he sort of feels this like relief that he doesn't have to go, even though he's staying back for work. I'm like, yeah, I can get that, because he knows that her dad doesn't like him.
Oh yeah.
So that felt like, oh man, that's hitting on some stuff. There's not just loss from our character's perspective, but like death in general. Of course, the cemetery, the fact that one of the reasons why it doesn't seem to affect Lewis that much is because he deals with it all the time.
Yeah, he's almost immune to it at this point.
Yeah, so that's the way to do it, is to take his perspective, because then you get to see the 5-year-old's asking questions about death. Well, we don't know what happens. He doesn't lie to her. He doesn't say, they're in heaven. He's kind of like, well, some people believe this and some people believe that. And I like that. I thought Stephen King probably talked to his kids like that.
I definitely get the vibe that he, of course, and I think every good writer would do this, is that he pinpoints emotions, beliefs into his character. So yeah, 100%.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Stephen King definitely does that.
Yeah.
Illness, PTSD illness, because the character with the spinal meningitis that
Dude,
Rachel is messed up about.
Dude, man, you said you hadn't seen the movie, right?
I have seen both, but didn't watch them for this.
Okay.
I didn't go, oh, I'm going to watch them right before we talk about it.
That whole spinal meningitis stuff in the book, it was touched on and it was freaky. Mm-hmm. And in the movie, the 2019 version, I feel like that could be a story in itself. Mm. Like that was really interesting to me. Mm-hmm. And that kind of I really enjoyed about the movie and in the book. I feel like they could have touched on it a little bit more. But yeah, that stuff was really, really interesting.
There's that like kind of that idea that they thought that she did it, that she killed Zelda because she was tired
like the last
of
one or something.
Yeah, because she was tired of taking care of her.
Oh man!
And you know, she explains like she used to like shit herself on purpose just to spite me. Mm-hmm. You know, so there's this. I'm like, oh my god, like.
I don't know if you've been around that kind of stuff as a little kid. I didn't have like a direct relative, but I definitely had a buddy of mine when I was real little, like maybe, I don't know, 8, 9, or 10. And his sister had, I don't know what the condition was, but she was definitely confined to a wheelchair. I want to say it was cerebral palsy.
Okay.
I want to say. So she was like non-vocal. She definitely, moved differently.
Right.
And as like a young kid, you don't know these things. You're
you
discovering
understand,
things.
right?
Yeah. And there definitely was. I didn't have like total fear, maybe how they describe it with Rachel's, but I could definitely see how that was a definite fear, especially the way to describe it. Mm-hmm. I mean, and I kind of did have a little bit of fear, like whenever she was around, there was just like a little bit of like
because it feels off, it feels wrong. Yeah,
right. And that's definitely real emotions there, and I definitely like that.
Yeah. So there's of course, the supernatural. And you don't really see the Wendigo, but you feel that it's there.
Yeah, you definitely feel that there's some kind of like weird entity.
Well, this is where some of this comes in, right? Exactly what you said, where you're like, man, maybe if it was a short story, because it's either a magical burial ground. Like a Micmac Indian burial ground.
Like pick one,
Or it's a fucking Wendigo. It can't be both.
Yeah.
Like lean into one or the other. I like the fact that there is not really a monster. It's the ground turned sour. Mm-hmm. And I think the sort of Stephen King's not that fucking deep, but he is masterful in sort of making these stories. He writes a lot also. The point I think of it is that you do have to teach yourself how to let go.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the point of the story, is like being like, you have to look these things in the eye and go, it's just a part of life. Were you under the impression that they were being influenced by this supernatural force?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would have been better had I not felt that, to be honest. Because to me, it takes away from like it kind of separated me from it, right? So like it wasn't these characters actually making these decisions based on their relationships that they had. I just, as a reader, was like, oh, it's because of this town. It's because of this Wendigo. It's because of this Indian burial ground. Mm-hmm. So it took me out of it completely. And I think that's maybe why I lost this, that maybe why I had a little bit of interest in it. Whereas, because I found myself wanting to ask the question, would I do the same thing in Lewis's position? But I couldn't necessarily put myself in that exact situation because there is this supernatural barrier that they're in, and I can't relate to that, So I found myself trying to, and it was hard for me to like disassociate myself with that fact. So in trying to still answer the question now, it's hard. I mean, I'm not in that position. I mean, I don't know if I could let go. I would like to, based on reading the story, I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to let go because I don't want my kid to murder my wife and murder my neighbor. But all of the reasonings and the justifications that Lewis goes through are valid. I mean, he's telling himself.
You
he's
understand why he does
Yeah.
what he does. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it could be different. Yeah, it happened with this guy Timmy many, many years ago, but maybe it's different this time. You know? And then at the very end, he definitely, with the whole, I don't know if I can get into spoilers already, but
Yeah, we're here.
so at the very end, when his wife dies, and then he's justifying, at that point he's already insane, but even still, his justification.
Oh, his like hair turns white.
Yeah, weird. So his justification still kind of deeply rooted into logic, sort of. Where
Right.
he's like, "Oh, I was, Gage was so far gone. I messed up that time.
I waited
need to
too
do it.
long.
I waited too long. This time it'll work." And those are
Justifications, yeah.
those are real justifications, man. And like, it's, you know, I honestly can't fault him, because I love my wife, I love my kids, and people do crazy things for love.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. And, you know, there's a couple of Stephen King, like, mythology, like a couple of things about this story. Apparently, he wrote this after some kind of incident happened where his son almost, like, wandered into the road. And he, like, thought, what if it hit him? And that part in the story where it's, like, talks about how long it drugged the body.
Ooh, yeah.
So you can only imagine how fucked up
Man, dude.
Gage's body would have been. So you imagine coming in it back as like a zombie.
Yeah, they didn't describe it too much, but
No,
honestly,
just no. When he's like,
to.
oh, I saw the shoe and then I ran and then I saw the overalls and then you're like, okay, how mangled is the body going to be? And then it's just drugged that far. I don't know if it was his son Joe or his son Owen, but one of them it happened to, and I don't know if you know this. Stephen King's son writes also. I got a couple of his books from the library.
Oh wow, he doesn't have the same last name, or is Stephen King not? His
I
real
think
name?
he tried to separate himself and not ride on the coattails of his father.
I can respect that.
And then I got another. This is so that's like 4 novels, little small novels in
Oh,
there.
okay.
And then I guess they did the same thing for one of Stephen King's. You know, he's written like 90-something books at this point, but it's 4 novels. This one's 4 novels.
That kind of very reminiscent of
Pet
shoot.
Sematary.
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, the design of the mouse in the front?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, his son writes also, which is cool. I've also got, this one's not from the library, but I heard this is supposed to be really good. King Sorrow.
Ooh.
It has something to do with like a regular ass people, like not in a fantasy world, meet a dragon and makes like some kind of deal with them. And then like a bunch of bad shit happens. I don't know. It's kind of cool. So yeah, just random.
Have you read
And
any of his books?
I read the first 2 stories in this one.
Decent, not bad.
Yeah, I mean it kind of reads very similar to
King?
Stephen King. He's a little harder. He goes a little tougher. The first story that I read in Strange Weather, the collection of the 4 short stories, I only read the first 2. The first one is like a camera that like steals your memories. And so there's this like lady that is wandering around afraid of this guy taking pictures of her, because every time he takes a picture of her, she forgets more and more and more until she's just this like rambling like lady. And then our main character gets his hands on the camera. So cool, pretty cool little story. It reads very much like a Stephen King story.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's, you know, that sounds like it's a Stephen King novel, right?
Well, it's just, you know, all horror stories just have like an idea that they just roll with. The second one, I was like, whoa, I didn't expect it to go this direction. So it starts off with like a super like an asshole security guard who like is getting in trouble with his wife, and like he threatened his son or something, held the gun up to the son to like scare the wife. So he's getting a restraining order, and his life is in shambles. He's fucked up.
Right.
And then he's a security guard at a mall, and then somebody starts some shit at the mall, and he ends up running over there to like save the day, and he ends up shooting a lady that's holding her kid, and it kills the kid and the lady. And
whoa,
that's how it starts, and you're like,
whoa,
what is happening here? And then it just a journalist
like
a journalist gets involved. No, this one's real. There's nothing supernatural going on at all. But spoilers for anybody that's going to read that. but it ends with him like losing control as the situation gets worse, and they find out about some shit he did in Afghanistan, and so he thinks everybody in town thinks he's a hero because he stopped the shooting, because they're like, oh, the lady that was starting the shit is the one that did it.
Okay. So
she went over there to stop a shooting.
He did, but in result, he killed
another person, and then pretended like the first lady did it. Like the lady that went over there to shoot her boss. He pretended like she shot this other person that was holding a kid. Oh. And then he like made it look like she did it.
But he's
the one that did it.
Ooh. Wow.
And then other stuff happens, and then it ends. It shocked me. I was like, holy crap, I didn't know it was going to go here. He basically goes on like a rampage and like shoots all the characters that you're introduced to.
Oh my god.
And then it like the last line is like, if you had a gun, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Joe Hill.
I was like, dude, that's
all right. That's hitting some
topics.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's neither here nor there. We'll go on to the next thing. Not that I wanted to, but it was fun. I read it in a night. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? This is crazy. So yeah, cool story.
Dang. All right.
So the big thing with this, aside from all the story, but in terms of like, again, the mythology of this. So he wrote the story based off of that thing with either Joe or Owen. It's one of his sons. Okay. So he wrote the story, thought it was too gritty or a little bit mean. And you got to think this is like 1983, which apparently he wrote the manuscript earlier than that. He had a partnership with Doubleday, the publisher. And he had a contract with them that he was supposed to write a certain amount of books. And he was not wanting to work with them anymore. I don't know which publishing house he made another contract with afterwards. He's been writing for fucking ever. But he owed them another book. So Stephen King's wife, Tabitha, was like, you have that one that's that you put away. Like, maybe you should just let me edit it, and then we'll send it to Doubleday. And I'm so glad they did, because it ended up being, depending on who you ask, people really think shocked. This is like one of his top ones.
Wow, I'm shocked.
So, he didn't want to finish it. Thought it was kind of gross or something. Maybe it just like affected him because it was like his kid.
Yeah, it definitely is a little cringy, and I think that also kind of like one reason why I wasn't super like ingrained in it, just because like hearing the tragicness of this story does want to.
It's a kid, man.
Yeah, I tried to get my wife to watch it or read the book, and she's like, I can't. She saw the movie, she's like, I just can't.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get it, right?
Yeah.
And then, did that, and it became one of his, like, top, like, people argue if this one or The Shining is better. I would rather read Pet Sematary again.
Really? Wow, okay.
Yeah, and Shining was fun. Yeah, Shining is fun, but I think this one is, I don't know. And then, had somebody pass away last year, and some of the conversations they had in regards to, it's a Q-tip.
Okay.
In regards to, like, family members that were there and were unsure, like they're just there for Norma's funeral and whatever. And I was like, man, this feels like the funeral I was just at, like
the way it was being described.
Well, I'm not as close to my uncle as I should have been, and
right.
things happen there. And,
sure.
So I did kind of feel like, okay, I'm obligated to be here, but like, so that part of it kind of hit me. I was like, whoa. And then I think, isn't there just like a Christmas part in here too?
There was a setting where it was in Christmas time. I can't remember exactly like what was going on during that time, but there definitely was a part about like Christmas.
Yeah, because it takes place over a span of time.
Right.
Then the misspelling. Genius.
I did the audiobook, so I don't
Pet Sematary.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So the misspelling is, I was like, man, these guys marketed that perfectly. Because I was thinking about a scenario, right? It's the 80s. This book came out in 1983, I think. So imagine that you're at like an airport. You don't have iPads. You don't have a cell phone to be clinging around on. You're like, and your flight gets delayed. You're like, fuck, I'm going to be here for a while. You go to the store at the airport and you see that like weird carousel thing that's got a bunch of paperbacks on it.
Yeah. You described it so well, man. I feel like I'm right there at the airport.
And you're going through it, and you see a name because Stephen King had written books by then.
Right.
a popular name, and then you see that Pet Cemetery, and then you see that Cemetery is misspelt so egregiously.
Yes.
Even if you don't pick it up, you'll notice it.
Oh yeah, you're like, what?
Huh? Maybe I'll pick it up. So
And it almost it fits with the story too, because it's like a kid would have spelt it, right?
yeah.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently the S is supposed to be for like sour. So like,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. So
Sure, absolutely. And I think it's easy for people to forget if you watched the movie a long time ago and haven't read it recently or anything, to like mix up that that's not actually where the resurrections take place. It's like they still have to go further.
right. And I don't know. It's surprising that most people like this story a lot. It didn't really hit with me. It didn't,
Yeah. I'm okay. Maybe I am shocked. I thought you were gonna feel kind of neutral to it. And was that where you're at, or you just don't like it?
No, it's hard. I mean, there's aspects of it that I really enjoy. I definitely had a good time in certain parts of it. In the beginning part, setting it up, I was like, oh, wow, okay, got this, got it. And then it took some turns, and I was like, okay, sure. And it just, as time went on, just from like the middle section of the book is where it just kind of lost me. The beginning, I was tuned in. The end, I was tuned in. In the middle part, I just kind of wasn't quite there.
It's weird because what I was trying to do was I was really trying to not look at it like it's cheesy. I was like, I'm gonna like, what would happen if this was like real life? You heard about this guy coming back from Vietnam, and his father buries him, and then he comes back and he's like this. He's not like a killer.
Yeah, they just.
But it's not him.
Yeah.
And then there's the part where he like starts saying dark secrets to everybody. And he tells Judd, and it's this shambling monstrosity of a person, but there's like an evil behind it. You can't really place what it is. And it's like, yeah, your wife, she fucked everybody here.
Oh, dude, that was weird. Oof.
And so like I was trying to think like how, like I would imagine hearing this story and being like, I'm not lying to you. Like there's something fucked up going on.
You know what I realized with myself when it comes to these types of stories is that it's hard for me to buy into certain things that are extremely supernatural. And I think this one is very supernatural. So like Misery, for example, there's not necessarily
there's no
whimsical.
supernatural.
And I can buy into the craziness of this,
which maybe is scarier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that whenever stories get super whimsical, I have a hard time buying into it. So like even like Game of Thrones, I think Game of Thrones does a decent job in that there are a lot of whimsical things, but it starts very slowly. It gets me used to these characters. I like
the world.
Yeah, and then slowly, like you said, like the magic starts slowly coming back. And then I get bought into it that much more. When this type of story, it's just like, boom, this place is weird. It's just weird. And it's just hard for me to be like, why?
Well, I was trying to,
But I get what you're saying.
Like, again, imagining myself waking up after, like somebody dies on me. I'm like one of the last people to try and help them. And then
you hear about this place and...
Well, no, because like Pascal.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
He's like trying to help Lewis. And so he falls asleep or whatever, and then he like thinks it's a nightmare where he's following Pascal, and he's like, do not go past this. Don't do this. Don't go this way. Stay away from it. And then he like wakes up, and he looks down, and he's like got fucking mud all over him. And you're like, whoa. I can imagine waking up and thinking like, being like terrified that I saw a ghost, or I saw something like,
yeah,
what the fuck? And then I looked down and I'm like, oh, I walked around somewhere. It's kind of crazy. That would scare me. And then you just get the vibe that he's trying to keep it the fuck together. And I think that's the stuff where I also thought, you would kind of relate to Lewis a little bit on that, like just trying to keep the family together, even when like the in-laws call and he's like trying to apologize but not really.
There's definitely a lot of realism in this, even but there's also that supernatural as well. So yeah,
And that's the
all
stuff.
other
That's the
wisdom
stuff
is-
that's more interesting to me. By the way, is the relationships.
Oh yeah,
The you could take the Wendigo and the supernatural element completely out of this and just have it. We don't know why they're coming back, and just have that be what it is.
Yeah, I think that if I were to redo this story, how I would do it is make the ending kind of ambiguous, whether he does or he doesn't. So focus severely on the character development between all of them. And then at the very end, you don't know whether he does or he doesn't bury his son.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool. But I'd probably change it to be like a short story or a shorter story, maybe. Because I think that's where I thought it was heading. Because this whole time I'm like, okay, is he going to bury him? Is he going to do it? Is he going to make this decision? And
Yeah,
then
I wonder how
finally-
you would have felt if you read it not having been influenced by the movie at all.
I bet you I would have enjoyed it much, much more.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because
And
I
also-
was trying to, again, not look at it like with the 80s movie in mind.
Right. But it's also hard because that story is it's super pop, or you've heard about
You
Pet
know
Sematary,
it.
you
Yeah.
know, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's the place where you bury him and they come back to
You
life.
might never have seen The Shining, but you know what The Shining is.
Yeah.
And Pet Sematary has that sort of like, oh, we all know. And then there's the fucking Ramones song.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Hey, ho,
wanna
let's go.
be buried in a pet cemetery.
Oh gotcha.
No, yeah, Hey Ho, Let's Go is the other one that's in there. But then they did a Pet Cemetery song.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Dang, that should be the intro of the.
Oh, if I can license it, yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Oh shit.
So let me ask you this.
Oh boy.
Do you think Ellie has the shine?
Oh wow. That's a good question.
Because she seems to know more of what's going on than anyone else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, could you argue that Rachel does too?
I never got the vibe that Rachel did. She can just pick up that Lewis is acting different, and that's why she's like, something's going on.
Yeah. True.
That you could argue that away.
I
but
would like
Ellie
to-
Ellie straight up is like, I'm having dreams. Who the fuck's
That's
Pascal? She
Yeah.
calls him Pascal, I think.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
that.
So she's definitely getting some sort of communication with the supernatural or whatever. She definitely is. Rachel, maybe, I don't know.
I think it's fun to toy with that. So I would say, yeah, she definitely does.
But based on what?
Well, based on the fact that Stephen King does kind of create this like universe, and he kind of alludes to his other stories pretty often. Same cities. He talks about.
I'm talking about
Derry
Rachel
and-
specifically.
I would say maybe not. I think maybe I'm leaning more towards not, only because maybe, like you said, Ellie kind of heavily influences, kickstarts this idea that something's wrong, and then Rachel just kind of follows down that path. Or maybe even Ellie has the ability to like, hey, let me share this with you. That's part of her shining.
That's a lot. But
Bro,
yeah,
there's
sure,
like
anything
this,
can happen.
You know?
Anything can happen.
Yeah, but I highly doubt it. But
And I don't know. I kind of, because a lot of his stories are just connected. So they'll mention, I think in Dolores Claiborne, doesn't she say, I'm gonna send your ass to Shawshank?
Yep.
So they're
I
all.
think they do that in this one too. I think Shawshank's in this one too.
I think
Maybe, I don't know.
I think they mention Jerusalem's Lot, which is connected to Salem's Lot, which is another. It's a vampire Stephen King story. So they're all kind of connected. The short stories and stuff will mention something. You just never know.
You know, reading a lot of Stephen King novels, it does make me want to visit kind of the north.
Maine.
Yeah.
We should go to Maine.
Yeah, I would really like to go because he just does this so much where it's just this environment. And I would love to just see where Stephen King grew up and stay there for like a solid month to just get an idea of like
Get a feel for the neighborhoods, the
Right.
people,
something where he grew up sparked this level of like,
Are you gonna get a cocaine
Creativity.
addiction also?
no, to God, no, I don't want that. But But it's definitely interesting. Like I hear Maine.
You're right. It's such a big part of who he is.
Yeah. So I would love to go check it out to see what made his brain tick in this way.
Yeah. I mean, he's an interesting guy. I think, again, when it comes down to what we're doing for the show, it's part of the reason why I'm being like, hey, we should do another one is because, like I said, it's approachable. But
it's easy to talk about. Real life
it's something, straight up, it's something I'd like to take a break on. Let's not do
I'm cool with that.
Let's not do a Stephen King the rest of the year.
That's cool.
And we'll just do other shit. We'll do some other stuff, and then if we go, okay, well, let's do Carrie, or let's go back and let's jump back in the King pond.
Sure, yeah.
Or do one of his son's books.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I put Wizard of Oz up here because there's a lot of Wizard of Oz references, which is weird.
Yeah,
and I couldn't tell why. I couldn't connect like what's the. Do you remember? There's.
Yeah, the Oz, the Great, the Terrible, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I put that up there, but like I don't remember what the point of it in the story was.
Well, I mean, what's the story of Wizard of Oz, right? It's like going back home. Yeah, I can't think of like a connection why he'd want to put
it. Was maybe just something he read to his kids and just was like, oh, this makes sense that they would be talking about Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm. Kind of that kid element because he's the small kid, so yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think.
Yeah.
The Wendigo, though, that book was... I'm going to be reading more Algernon Blackwood for sure. Because that story is real weird. It's like...
So what is the Wendigo? Is it from like an Indian folklore?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's supposed to be like... it has something to do with cannibalism, too.
Is it that creature that's kind of like a tree, also like a deer?
Like
or
antlers.
Something?
It's got like antlers.
Yeah.
That's what they say, because it's like part of the environment. But it has something to do with the Wendigo only shows up when people are desperate and in almost like destitution or like when people are hopeless enough and desperate enough to eat a person just to stay alive. That's the influence of the Wendigo. But it depends on who you ask and who's telling the story and whatever. And in that story, it's like they're hunting like it's like a moose. They're trying to hunt a moose or they're hunting some animal, and they go. There's a whole group of them, and these two guys go separate, and like one of them is the guide, and the other one is young and has never done this before. And then one night they go to bed, and they start hearing weird things in the woods, and then the character whose perspective we're in, he wakes up, and then his guy's not there. And so he starts panicking because he's like, I don't know what the fuck to do out here. I got to find him. He was acting weird the night before. So he gets it's not really about the monster going and killing anybody. It's the fear of like being alone in the woods. Ooh, and there's something out, and there's something out there. It's not, and he's not, like, it's not a panther or something. It's like a fucking creature. Oof. Yeah. It was cool. It's hard to make things from olden times scary now, but he really writes it like, oh, and like, I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be like separated and being like, okay, I just have to wait and be calm. Mm-hmm. But then you start hearing that, I think Judd in Pet Sematary is like, oh, it's a loon. And you're like, that's not a fucking loon, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of alluding to that. Like,
it's not. It's the fucking, it's the Wendigo, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I read that short story. That was pretty cool. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to read more like horror short stories too. Algernon Blackwood's a good one. There's a guy called Ambrose Bierce. You would really like Ambrose Bierce, I think. Yeah. Yeah. He does like Southern Gothic horror. A lot of it's like Civil War related, and it's more like it's not horror through like a monster or something like that. It's more so like the horrors of war or just a bad situation. His most like famous one is called An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. And it's basically a character who is about to be put to death, so they're going to hang him. Mm. And the rope breaks. And the story is him like he goes into the river and the river takes him off and he's trying to escape these guys that are shooting at him and whatever. It's like it's this suspense, of like, can he get away?
That's cool.
And then just when you think he's going to get away, his neck breaks. He was imagining himself escaping.
Oh man. Yeah, I would like some shit like that.
But all his stories have like a weird thing like that where it's like
like a little twist.
It's yeah,
kind of pulls you under the rug.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'll tell you another story, and I don't remember what the title of it is, and I won't spoil it just in case you do want to read some of this. It's pretty cool. Maybe you can find an audiobook of some of these. But one of them is like there's a character that's caught in a well or in like a hole or a trap or something, and he's like a sharpshooter. He's like a rifleman, but he's made his gun to have a hair trigger on it, so that you just barely tap it and it'll make the gun go off, and it's aimed at him. There's like an explosion or something that happens. He's trapped somewhere and the gun's pointing at him. And he's
so
like,
at any moment
he's like, if I move the wrong way, it can make the gun go off. Dude, Ambrose Bierce is the fucking man, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. Ambrose Bierce is a good writer, dude. And I think he had like a mysterious death too. I think he went missing.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So there's more cool short horror stories out there. Stephen King, we love you, King, but he ain't the king, dude.
He's dethroned for us right now.
Nah, there's a lot of cool shit out there, man.
Yeah. I usually just get kind of inspired from what you guys or what we're going to work on. So I definitely want to try to start branching off into what I want to try too. You know, it's just hard because it's still relatively new. I don't know what to look for.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so I think it's just trial and error because I'm sure there's stuff where you're like, oh man, that looks really cool. And you start digging and you're like, oh, this is fucking lame.
Oh, of course. And you know what? You know where I'm at on this? If I don't like something, I don't feel like I have to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life's too short. Life's too short, baby. I want to find the good shit. I want to find the shit that rings with me. There's no honor in completion.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get a fucking award or a check if I finish every book that I pick up.
Sure.
Like if I don't finish it, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, I got rid of that shit. I used to be like that. I got to complete it. I got to complete it. Nah, dude, if I'm not enjoying myself. You know, some books they do get better towards the end, or like something will make sense and you kind of push yourself through it.
But a good story should still keep you intrigued.
But I think that's where I'm at, where I want it to be like, well, if I'm just straight up not enjoying myself, and why I read to enjoy myself,
right?
Or if I'm looking for a challenge, then that's why I'm there. So, yeah, I think it's a good place to wrap this up.
Yeah,
you had a good time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for watching. Go read the book. Don't watch the movies.
No, don't watch the movies.
Yeah, they suck.
They can't. It's hard to take this story and put it on film. Honestly, I think it's something you have to feel.
Yeah.
I'm actually bummed that I kind of led us astray on this one. This was something that you didn't end up enjoying too much, and
no, it's like I said, I just teeter back and forth. It was I enjoyed myself. Maybe not. Well, we didn't rate it, so if it was just like,
do we have to?
Let's rate it.
Okay,
fuck it.
The last thing we do.
I know,
is
right? Yeah, it's so random. I kind of want to give it like at a 10 rating.
Okay.
I would give it a 6. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 8.
8. So we're not super far off. So that gives you a
you gave it more of a positive than you did a negative.
Yeah, for sure.
No, man, this is
a lot of things didn't bother me about it. It just didn't get me to like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
So
I think it did for me. I think it just had the right flavor for me. I think it's just the loss and the I think he really dug into the relationships, and I really like that. I like that that was the most interesting part, where you go, okay, that at some point the zombie's going to come out, but it really was about the despair of it, and how him and his wife start having this like tension because of stuff that's going on, and it's just. I don't know. I kind of dug that. I was like, they're acting kind of like real people. There's more sex in the book too, which is kind of random. I forgot about that. They like hook up a couple of times.
Yeah.
So there's this like sex and death kind of thing going on too. I forgot to mention that.
Like
so
there's a lot of imagery there that
Well. Anyway, do you have an idea of what we should do next, or should we talk about it after we stop?
I have an idea, but I don't know how you might feel about it. But so Danielle and I started Hail Mary, which is kind of like
Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary. So that might be something. I started like the first chapter. It's fun. So I haven't finished it, but
if that's what you'd like to do, then yes.
All right, let's try it out.
All right, guys.
All right, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. We got a whole new interesting year coming at you. we're gonna see what happens, man. 2026 is gonna be wild.
Let's do it. I'm ready for it.
All right, bye
All
guys.
right, later.